happen to be here.
I'm sorry, I heard you're in Atlanta and then something over.
Yeah, no, I just said in Atlanta right now.
Is
I
that
live in
temporary?
Florida. Yeah, it's just for the next week,
Okay.
and then Florida, then Austin.
Oh,
Yeah.
do you have homes in all those places?
No.
No, just traveling.
I'm I am well, yeah. Long story. Won't take the time here.
Okay.
We should
So,
talk.
yes, do I have homes in all those places? Yes, because when I'm there, I'm at home.
That's right.
That's a good way to look at it.
Yes,
That's right.
you're right. Yes.
That's right. Everyone, let's welcome Dharma.
Hi, Dharma.
Hello.
It's her first time.
Oh,
Welcome.
nice.
Welcome,
Excited to
welcome.
be here.
Did Suzanne, did you tell her about the test? You know, like the test that we do whenever anybody starts?
Yeah,
Sure.
go ahead, give it to her. She's up for
Bring
it.
it on.
No, she already passed the test. She got invited, so she already passed.
I was going to say, I bet Suzanne could whip up one in 10 seconds with her AI tools.
Mhm.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
and if I couldn't, Sherry certainly could.
Mhm.
Yeah, between the two of you, absolutely.
Yeah. Yes. Well, today I'm excited for today because we're going to get really, really practical with your meeting notes and client summaries, networking chats, and all of those, beautiful things that you hit save on from your meetings, whether you're using Read AI meeting notes, which I see somebody has their meeting notes here, Read AI. I use Fathom. You could also be using Zoom transcript, which I'm actually going to turn that on as well today. Then there's also a feature within Zoom to actually share just the transcript. You can also save the chat. So right now, I want you to grab your pen and on a piece of paper, write down what you're currently saving from meetings that you go to. Hey, Clay. Today we're diving into using your notes, your transcripts, and networking chats from Zoom and how to actually use those, bring them into ChatGPT and have it write your follow-up emails, have it communicate for you. My favorite is grabbing the chat from a networking event, bringing that into ChatGPT and saying, tell me who I should connect with from this meeting. And because my custom GPT knows all about me and who my ideal client is, you don't have one of those for yourself yet. You can just tell it, my ideal client is this, this, and this. Who from this meeting would be a good referral partner for me? Put the chat in, and it will spit back whoever has put their information in the chat that seems like it would be a good fit for you. If you want to connect with everybody from a networking event, you can literally take the chat and pull it into ChatGPT and get a list of people. You can even get that list onto a spreadsheet, download it in CSV form, and bring it right into your CRM to send all of those people a follow-up email at one time. Super efficient. This has cut down my follow-up, my networking, and I will say a new prompt I created last week for a follow-up with one of my podcast guests. So I had this super high profile person on my podcast, and my podcast guest get a follow-up email from me. It's very generic. It's cut and paste. Here's your assets. Loved having you on your show. Here's when I'm going to be sharing your episode. Very boring. And I decided this guy's such a VIP and so well connected. He needs something special from me. So I took the transcript from the podcast, brought it into ChatGPT, and I said, please write a funny follow-up email asking Joe who his ideal client is, who I can introduce him to, who I could refer to him, thank him for being on the show, also let him know my Rolodex is open to him. I can't guarantee that I will fix him up on a date like I did with Jason, our mutual podcast producer. And it wrote the funniest flippin' email, and it pulled out quotes from Joe from the podcast, which I handed to him. And I said, let me know if you want some of those quotes made into graphics for social media. I can do it with the click of a button with AI. And he was like, I didn't get a response. I got a text message from a very high profile, very busy person that said, best email follow-up ever. You're a rock star. I said, I'm doing that every time. Every time I'm doing the exact same prompt. So we'll talk about those prompts today to actually get a custom solution. So if I'm following up with Dharma after meeting her, I could write, based on our meeting, I could take the notes from that meeting from my note taker and actually follow up with her with a custom reply. But more importantly, I can show my personality using AI, and it just cuts the time to respond in half. So when you think about what you're currently saving from your meetings, whether it's client sessions, networking sessions, make a list of what those things are for me right now. So networking events, you save the chat, write that down. Client sessions, you have a note taker. Write all those options down right now, and we'll make sure we cover each one of those things and how to use this to follow up. Sound good? Go ahead, Dharma.
What would you suggest to use when you have individuals in the meeting who refuse to have a note taker or a transcript?
I haven't had that happen.
I have. I have a posse where one individual is refusing to have anything. And it's, for me, it's like I am so reliant on Fathom and note taking because I can focus on you.
Yeah, me too. And that's how I explain it when anybody's ever asked. Are these paying clients of yours that don't want it recorded?
Yes.
Okay. Well, honestly, if you depend on it and it's part of your paying attention process, that's what it is for me. I can be focused with you if I know somebody else is writing stuff down. If you can communicate that, it might be okay with that person. If not, there is an app for your phone that you can record your meeting with.
Yeah, I would still need to disclose in certain states that that the conversation is being recorded by law.
Yeah.
So, do you use Zoom? Are you using Zoom and recording it from Zoom?
I am using Zoom, and then I'm using Fathom.
Because if you're just using Zoom, will they let you record the meeting in Zoom? Because Zoom gives you some level of
transcript.
No.
Yeah.
This is a high-level individual with a high-level security clearance, and they are in a protected status, which means that we can't, the name and identity is protected. So anything could be a possible liability, which means that not even a phone call or a regular phone call, text message, everything needs to be encrypted.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. Do you have a non-disclosure agreement with this person?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, why? So for me, if it was me, right? Because that I know people in that situation. So it's absolutely, it's not because they want to be contrary. You know, it's not just because they want to be against you. I think in that particular case, the decision lies with you and saying, am I willing am I willing to engage with it? Are the money more important to me than to me adjusting my routine in order to service this client at the highest level?
Yeah.
I think in this particular case, there are circumstances where I wouldn't push on that. And I would say, if I can't work with that, then it's not my client. I think that's really an integrity within yourself to say, am I ready to offer my fullest best self in this situation? That's my take. That's how I look at it. I would never ask that person, because I know how it is to be that person.
Mm-hmm.
To ask them to compromise that for themselves.
Yeah.
Right.
Agreed.
Especially when I know what you do, because that prevents the healing.
Yes, and it was a high profile referral.
Mm.
So, and I didn't want to let the referring partner down. So,
Yeah.
So but yes, thank you.
But even if you don't have to, if you still want to stay in that integrity and see that you need that in your high referral partner, saying, I really appreciate this, but this does not allow me to do my best job because I XYZ. That is not letting that person down. It's being open and honest.
Exactly. Yeah, that is the conversation that I will have in the future. Thank you for this. I appreciate it.
Of course, that's what we're here for. And I would add that financial advisors, I had one on my show, and now I won't have another. And the reason being, our episode, we couldn't go live. I didn't know that. He told me at the time of, we can't go live. This has to be approved before it goes out on social media. And I was like, well, you didn't say that when we scheduled. And so we recorded, and it was a fine episode. And I had to go through hoops to submit this episode. They wanted all kinds of information about me and why I wanted to publish this conversation. And they actually denied the conversation because I asked him background and who's your ideal client type of questions. Not allowed to talk about that, apparently. And I won't go through that again. So it just became part of my, not an ideal guest for me, because I want to go live. Go ahead, Robert.
Yeah, most of it was said already, but obviously, just as Elsa was sharing, you have to honor the request in that particular situation, and you can just say, here's the limitations I'll have. So here's what I do, here's how I use it, here's the advantages. So what I've done to get past people's reluctance is I've just shown them examples or given them specific examples of the kind of depth of follow-up, of unspoken things that they may not have said. There's clarity that you can get. So I've actually demonstrated that for clients. And so far, all of them, they haven't been in that same situation, have been like, oh, yeah, I could see where that would be important. I don't want to lose that. Go ahead and record. When they had initial reluctance. In your specific situation like that, you just say, I think everyone said it really well already, which is, I'm here for you. I'll absolutely honor whatever request or restrictions you have, and there will be some limitations as a result of it. Leave it be.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
You're so welcome. Way to jump right in.
I do.
Love it. All right. Let's put your times where you would use ChatGPT to follow up for you in the chat for me, because that'll be part of, I'll create prompts for each one of those things for you in my follow-up for today. So whatever you're currently needing to follow up with, a networking event, a client session, maybe you're even recording your quick connect calls with new connections. We could use it for that as well. I've started to dabble with a thread in ChatGPT for all the new connections I have for all the new people that I meet, and putting in enough information about each one of those and keeping a running, thread for those new connections. At the end of 6 months, I can say, tell me all my new connections for the past 6 months and who of those connections should meet each other. Or when I add a new person to the list, well, I can say who out of the past 6 months would be great for Charlotte to meet. And it's going to pull out which people have the same ideal client, similar offers, things like that. So we could also use it for networking, which would be great. Client sessions, meetings, public speaking, networking, masterminds. Great, great, great. Masterminds, that's an interesting way to use it. So if you are participating in, any of my events, you can bring your note taker. I have no issue with that, even though I do follow up of everything I do. I think it's fine for you to bring, and that does not bother me at all. But if you're participating in a mastermind group, how could you take that transcript and actually be of more service to the other people in the group? Think about that for a second. You're in a group with, say, 10, 20, 30 people, and you have the transcript of it. You take that transcript, you put it into ChatGPT, and you say, who had a problem in today's meeting that was not solved completely? Pull out all the questions that people asked from the meeting. And if there's a question that you're a rock star answering, you can by all means say, I thought more about the question you asked today, Charlotte, in the mastermind, and I came up with this resource for you. It's a way to be of more value to the other people in the group. And in my AI mastermind that I participate in, somebody had a problem 2 weeks ago that I knew one of my connections was the solution for. Somebody was looking to do a better job with their Facebook group, like a Facebook group CRM. And I know somebody who does that and has the software to do it. He sets it all up for you and then gives you a VA to do it all for you. It's phenomenal. It's not cheap, but it's not super expensive either. So I just reached out to this person afterwards and I said, the more I thought about your Facebook problem, I have somebody who could solve that problem for you. Would you like an introduction? So if I happen to not remember that after a meeting, sometimes I don't follow up for a day or so, I can go back to that transcript and say, who had a problem in today's meeting? And who asked a question in today's meeting? Get a list of all those questions and say, yep, that's the one I have a resource for. So again, it's a time for you to be of more value to the people that you're hanging out with. And at non-traditional networking, and I say this all the time, if you're participating somewhere, like my community, another learning community, or you're in a 5-day challenge with some guru, and there's 3,000 people in the group, how do you be of value and start meeting people in that group, in that guru's curated community of your ideal clients? You could actually, if they allow a note taker in or allow a transcript or share it afterwards, you can use it to be of more value to the group. So that's what this is all about today. And I'm going to start off with the email follow-up prompt that I used. And when I ask for it to write emails for me, I do one of two things. I either use my own custom GPT that knows all about me, or I use a email writing GPT, and the email writing GPT is a little more persuasive, and it's programmed with direct response marketing tools. I'll grab that GPT so you all have it. It's not mine. I didn't create it. But this GPT, since it's programmed with persuasive marketing, direct response marketing, you can ask it to write different email styles for you. So if you don't know what email style you want to write in, that's the place to start. Know what your style of email is. I like conversational. I like funny. I also like value. So my style of email is in the style of Dan Kennedy. Dan Kennedy writes direct response copywriting that's witty and conversational and very like factual, gives you instructions. And this GPT knows his style.
What is a way to find our style if we don't know it?
Take something you've written and put it into ChatGPT and say, could you analyze the tone and style of this email? I just did it this morning. I will show it to you.
To do that with an email that we have not used ChatGPT with.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So here's what I did. Now, this is in my own SDK GPT, and I am working on some landing page copy. So what I did right here is my podcast producer has this really cool AI tool that I don't have. So I said, here, take this and rewrite it with your tool. So this is the PDF version of the Idea Lab landing page. It's written in direct response copywriting form. It's basically a long letter inviting people to the Idea Lab. And I said, please analyze this landing page copy for tone and style. So now it's giving me tone and style, and then strengths in the persuasive writing and category design. It told me the hook was strong, which I already knew that because I'm obsessed with that term and the whole description of it. It gave me all kinds of compliments. I did a good job with social proof, data-backed credibility. I created urgency and FOMO, and I had clear targeting and pre-qualification. It weeds out the wrong people early with good statements. Okay, perfect. So I love where we're going with this copy. But now it's going to give me some areas for refinement. Now, what you can do with your own email, you're not going to get as much detail from a single email, but you can still get tone and style. If you have more that you've written, like blog posts or some sort, maybe even grab 5 or 6 of your LinkedIn posts and put it all in a PDF. Put all of the written content in one PDF and then do what I just did. Upload the PDF into ChatGPT and said, please analyze this copy for tone and style. That way, the more you have to share with it, the better feedback you'll get. So this gave me some areas of refinement, and then the final verdict of my landing page. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask for a prompt to write more copy like that. And that's it. Then I have my tone and style in a paragraph. Does that make sense, Charlotte?
Yes. And then do you create a custom GPT based on that, or do you just use that paragraph every time you want to create something new?
Yeah, just use that paragraph for now.
Okay.
Where you could use it in a custom GPT is if you're creating a Charlotte, or a branded GPT for yourself, you could put it in about you, about your ideal client, about your offers. You could even include a proposal and demographics, psychographics, all kinds of stuff in a custom GPT, and then use that to write more content for yourself.
Okay.
But until you're ready to, either you could have Sherry make you a custom GPT or learn how to do it yourself. Until that, just use the paragraph that says your tone and style.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, so now I'm going to hop over to Fathom, and that's the one I use. For those of you that don't use Fathom, not Fartham. And let's see.
Suzanne,
Yeah.
I have a PDF I got probably a year ago. It's all Russell Branson's like landing pages, like all his. So I can dump that into a custom GPT also.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. And if it's all in one PDF, let me get this email writing one for you. If it's all in one PDF, you could just bring it in. All right, I'll put this in the chat for all of you. So this is the email writer that I love. And this one's already programmed in the style of Dan Kennedy, Dan Henry, Chad Nealand, a bunch of famous direct response copywriters who've sold billions and billions of dollars worth of stuff via email and via social media. This custom GPT is capable of writing money tales emails, like in the style of Dan Henry that I love, Seinfeld style story emails that turn out funny and wonderful. And if you have someone who you love their emails, Dan Henry emails every day. Every day. I get an email advertising his $97 a month offer. They are funny and they are witty and they're short. I read every single one of them, even though I've been in his membership for 3 years and I worked with him before that. So I worked with him and then I've been in the membership for 3 years, all because I have FOMO that I'll miss his single workshop that he gives once a month. That's why I stay. And because I love those emails, they're called money tales, where you take something super boring and everyday life, you turn it into a story that's funny, engaging, and the transition is it transitions into selling your offer so naturally. So a money tales email, you would use those more for selling, not follow-up. But that style email can be really, really powerful. If you're doing a follow-up email, just use your own style. Use your own style of, I like to be funny. I want somebody to laugh when they read my follow-up email. Or I want to be self-deprecating in the email. So, for example, yesterday, I missed an appointment with someone. I'll tell you why. He scheduled it on his calendar and sent me a link. I said 3 p.m. He scheduled it 3 p.m. Central. My fault. I didn't say I was Eastern. So I wrote an apology email with ChatGPT and I said, please be funny and self-deprecating about blonde girls from New Jersey not stressing that it was Eastern time. Now, this is a doctor who's written a book about marketing for other doctors. He was referred to me to be a client for me. So I could have easily been like stuffy and professional and apologetic, but that's not me. So if this guy's going to hire me for my highest level program, I want him to know the real me. And the email started off with, "Oh my God, I'm a blonde. Yeah, yeah, yeah." Who's heard that song? I have. Yes. "Oh my God, I'm a blonde. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Plus I'm from New Jersey. Oopsie. I didn't tell you I was Eastern time. I see that you're Central. We got our wires crossed. I've uncrossed them now. Do you have time on Friday at the same time?" Same thing he responded with a text. "Friday's perfect." He didn't laugh, but we'll see what he says in person, right? So by being more of myself, if he's too stuffy for that, he's not going to be fun to work with. He's not going to say yes to working with me at that level. So you might as well just eliminate him in the beginning. Okay, so let's go back to Fathom. So what I'll do is I'll take Charlotte. We could do your meeting if you're up for that.
Sure.
Okay, cool. So Charlotte and I met on Friday to talk about networking strategies, potential business connections. We looked through my LinkedIn for her. I gave her some great ideas. Also, it's going to summarize Charlotte's wins, challenges, and today's focus. I love this part. Today's focus, review her recent networking and business development. So if I was going to follow up with Charlotte on this, I'm going to copy the summary right here. Now, what's really cool about Fathom, if you have the paid version, you can go to this little wheel right here, this little blue wheel, and see where it says customize pops up. You can open this and give up to 1,024 characters of instruction to your Fathom. So I have told it to increase detail, check in, wins, challenges, 3 things for today's focus, discussion notes, topics for next time, keywords the client said, keywords Suzanne said, because that makes great content for me when I talk to people. Questions from client, that's key. Any questions Charlotte asked, possibly I didn't answer them fully enough. So I'm going to make sure when I look at those questions that I've answered all of those fully in this session for Charlotte, or I put them on the list for next time. And then, because I'm an action taking coach, to-do list for client. So that is how my summaries come out. So I'm going to copy that summary and I'm going to go over to ChatGPT and I'm going to use my STK GPT because we're going to pretend that Charlotte was just a one-off session and I'm going to follow up with her to sell her something in a very authentic way. So I'm going to do a new chat with my custom STK and I'm going to say, please summarize this meeting with lead Charlotte. She is a potential client who booked a strategy session. Please give her a list of questions she asked and a brief summary, let's spell correctly, of the answers, and transition to selling her the Idea Lab membership or working with me one-on-one for 8 weeks. Now it already knows my 8-week program, so that's all I have to say. This GPT is programmed with all of my stuff. And I'm going to add, please make this an authentic, heartfelt invitation, not a sales pitch. Also, please be conversational and funny where appropriate. And then I'm going to paste in the summary and hit go. So,
Is there a reason you chose to paste the summary and not the full transcript?
no, just because I have the summary structured in a custom way. It's just a little shorter. Some of my sessions, are going 60, 90 minutes, and that transcript gets a little long, and I want it to be, the summary is more focused on the client, where the transcript could be a lot of me talking too. So that's the only reason. Have I done it? Yes. And you could do either way. When I'm on a networking call, like the one I wrote an email follow-up to, I use the whole transcript from the podcast because I knew there was great quotes in there from him. So for me, it all depends. If it's a client, I typically use the summary because it's structured how I want it to be structured. If it's a networking call that's 20 minutes, I use the whole transcript.
Got it. Cool.
All right, so now it's written an email to Charlotte with a great little intro. Here's a recap of our convo, and yes, I included the important snack discussion. Oh, we had a discussion about snacks, healthy snacks.
You shared
Remember?
some recipes with me at
I
the very
did.
beginning.
Oh, that's so funny.
I just realized because it took me a second to remember what that was. Yeah.
Yes. Also, so here it's going to give what we covered and the warm space platform that we talked about, business development, LinkedIn content strategy, miscellaneous, the fun stuff. Oh my gosh, you asked about my dog too. So,
Just saw that.
So, if I'm trying to romance Charlotte as a client and I really want to work with her and I think I can help her, if I leave out this miscellaneous and I leave out the software discussion, right? Well, that software could be good for her business as well, but let's just focus on what Charlotte and I did in that session. And then I have 2 amazing things to nurture the relationship with Charlotte. I have this software discussion, inviting Charlotte to the first time I use that software to see if it's something she'd want to use in her business. Huge value for her. So that's number 1. Number 2 would be to take this miscellaneous stuff and the healthy recipes we talked about, my healthy onion rings and the cottage cheese chips, sending her those 2 recipes. So immediately, just from these notes, with a prospect or even a one-off coaching client, I have 3 things I can follow up with her: software and an event invitation, bringing her closer, and then 2 recipes to send her. And again, I could reach back out and I'm like, did you try the cottage cheese chips yet? Oh my gosh, I put cottage cheese on my cottage cheese chips. So good. Okay. So now here's what I love is because my notes are customized for the to-do list, this email has a to-do list for Charlotte. Now Charlotte's saying right now, can you send that to me?
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
just looking for the notes from the meeting and I can't put my hand on them. So I was going to see if
Yeah.
you'd send me either the original or this. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll send you the whole email.
Thank you.
Now, here's where it gets cool. Because of the way I asked it to pitch Charlotte, it is complimenting. She's got a lot of momentum right now. You don't need to do this alone. The Idea Lab would be perfect for you. Or if you want to go all in and really refine your offer strategy and positioning, we can work one-on-one for 8 weeks. We'll go deep into your business. Da 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 da. No pressure at all. Just letting you know you've got great options. I'd love to keep this momentum going with you. Let's chat and let's see what feels right. And so that's the hardest pitch you're ever going to get from me. And it knows my style, which is perfect. Now, how much time did I just save if I go like this and copy this whole entire email? Copy that email, and I'm actually going to send it to Charlotte. And I delete the couple things I don't want and hit send. How much time did I just save analyzing meeting, handwritten notes? I don't even do those anymore. But here's the really cool part. I can take this whole email and go to my CRM and put it in Charlotte's contact. And I can literally save all of those conversations, not only with my clients, but with networking connections. So if I have a meeting twice a year with somebody who's a referral partner and we talk about things and I save all of that, that it helps me. I don't know how to word this, but it helps me have people feel more connected to me. And I started doing this when I was a dental hygienist, keeping little written notes in people's charts. And people were amazed at, I only saw people every 6 months, but I remembered their daughter got married in June, or they just became a grandparent, or, they took a vacation to Hawaii. Oh my God, Sally, it's great to see you. How was the trip to Hawaii? And you don't think that builds rapport and connection and trust with people? And keeping notes on people is not cheating. It's not cheating when you know 1,000 people. So if you have 1,000 people and you want them all to remember you, you can't remember all of them. This is how you can do a better job. I didn't even know how I was doing it until I got asked to teach it. How do you have so many people who know who you are, and when you meet with them one-on-one, they feel like they're the most special person to you? This is how. And it's not fake, because I do love people and I don't meet with people I don't like. So it is authentic when it's happening, but how do you keep all of that in your brain? This is how.
My husband was in sales for 25 years, and his boss about 20 years ago used to do this with index cards.
Mhm.
And so he would have, the customer's name and on the back about their family and what they were into. And so he was very successful and very relational. So it's a great idea. And
Yeah.
we can do it easier now with technology.
Yeah, and I think this idea, imagine this afternoon, I'm meeting with someone who I haven't talked to in about 4 months, and I know that his clients are my clients and my clients are his clients. We have to deepen our relationship to get to that point. Well, I went back to our last 3 conversations while I was having my coffee this morning and just read over all of the notes. Oh, yeah, he snowboards. Oh, yeah, he has 3 boys. Oh, yeah, he has this. So that refresher allows me to come to the meeting already past the rapport building phase. How are the boys? Did you get out on the slopes this season? Oh yeah, I remember the year that I had 120 days on the slope. I didn't work much that season, right? Like it's just a chance to bond over something. And I would not have remembered that he was a snowboarder versus a skier unless I had looked at the notes. All right, hit me with questions. How can you see yourself using this more to follow up authentically with people? Go ahead.
I have used ChatGPT for 3 years. My GPT knows me very well. And I have dyslexia. Because I speak 5 different languages, I'm having a hard time always getting grammar and wording and interpretations right. But since ChatGPT, hands down. So everything here, it's going to save me so much time.
Yeah.
Thank you. This is like massive value on steroids. Thank you.
You're so welcome. There's way more when that came from. So this will be a fire hose.
Good. Keep it coming.
Awesome.
I'm ready.
See? Love people like that. Love people like that. Go ahead, Robert.
So I'll tell you one thing I did that was really cool. So I took a client who had bought a 24 package session with me, and then we interrupted over the holidays. So we had like a gap from October through February, actually. And so I just let him brain dump, like, catch me up, tell me everything that you're doing.
Love
So
it.
then I took the summary and I said, please act as a high performance coach for somebody who's already performing really well. And what are the areas that he would be most interested in being pushed on? And then it made a big list. And then in the next session, I read him the big list of, I think you want to be pushed in these areas. And he's like, oh my God, you nailed it. And basically what we did is we mapped out a whole year's progress plan for him. And now each session is covering one of those key topics. So the conversation really makes the ability to follow up on the notes actually can create your development plan, your coaching plan, your interaction plan with somebody who isn't an existing client as well.
Yeah, I love that, because sometimes when you're in those conversations with people, they're so in the moment, they say things that really weren't in their plan to talk about with you, and the note taker will catch that as well.
Yeah.
Love it.
Oh, and that was another one. I thank you for saying that. That is one of my favorite prompts in call analysis is please please identify potential unspoken needs. I love that one. And it really nails it a lot.
Charlotte, you want to ask that one about your call?
Yes, let's do that.
Okay, cool. So what I did right now, I was going to show you how to use the chat, but let's go deeper. Please uncover any.
Yeah, go ahead and put all my stuff, all my junk out there. It's a small group.
It's a small group.
Yeah, just make sure you didn't talk about, oh my God. Well, you were talking about hot flash the other day. So like, not you, Suzanne was, please talk about, all my hot flash remedies. And I'm not putting that on you, Charlotte. I'm just saying.
That's funny.
Well, I was encouraging Denise to make hot flash videos, like hot flash solution videos, like my mom's solution. She used to stick her head in the freezer, and how I used to make fun of her for going outside in the dead of winter in a tank top and shorts and standing there. She would just stand there outside, barefoot on the cold ground, and I would laugh at her. And now I'm doing the same damn thing. And I look up to heaven and I'm like, sorry, sorry, can you stop? Can you stop cursing me with this? Right? Like, it's funny. It's funny because every woman does the same thing, but so few talk about it. Seriously. All right, so Charlotte's unspoken needs, what she really wants. She wants a clear sales and business development strategy. I think we covered a lot of that, but I could actually hold her more accountable and actually help her come up with a more refined sales process. What does that look like? More speaking engagements. You've landed some. How do we land more in your local market? That sounds amazing. Confidence in pricing. I think we are working on that. And I think you are getting very close to being more confident on that. Content and thought leadership plan. Maybe. Community and accountability. Yeah, you have that. So she likely craves a supportive community of like-minded people who challenge and inspire her. Now, see, it didn't know she was already a member of the Idea Lab, but look how it did that with my offers in mind, because I'm using my custom GPT, which is awesome. So let me just demo before we go deeper. Oh, this is awesome. You're not looking for more work. She's looking for better results from the work she's already doing. She needs more ease, confidence, and a system that keeps her moving forward without second guessing. Pretty accurate, Charlotte? Awesome.
Yes, spot on.
All right. So now I'm going to upload. These are all of my this is my most recent event that I did for a networking group. This is an Ask and Give event, which Robert is familiar with, that I ran for a community. And this is the chat document that I saved. And I'm just going to say, please pull out everyone's contact info, if shared, and provide a list of their asks and gives. Now, I don't really need this because I have them fill out on a form their asks and gives, and it drops it on a spreadsheet for me. But if I didn't, here's what I could do. So it's going to tell me who was in the chat, which if you're running 3 meetings a day like I am, good luck remembering who was in what meeting. So this is very, very helpful. All right, so perfect. Now I have a very clear list of who was there, the asks from the meeting, what people need help with. Awesome. Okay, this is really cool. I'm speaking at the biggest Christian business conference next month in the United States. And this guy would be the perfect person to invite and send my link to buy a ticket. He's looking for Christian specific groups to connect with, and he's very AI savvy. I know that as well. So this group, because there's a lot of Christian business owners in that group, might be a great place to promote buying a ticket and coming to this event to see me speak. What people are offering. Now, what's interesting here, this is an opportunity for me as a teacher as well, because if people are giving, I've already given them instructions that their give is not the top of their funnel. And if you look at this, how many of these people are giving something that's the top of their funnel, almost every single one. Right? Alice is offering an article. Tina is invitation to a book club run by a friend. So that's not the top of her funnel. But Dale, top of funnel. Nikki, top of funnel. Dr. Andrea, top of funnel. Free recipe book, which that's what she gives away for her opt-in. So I immediately see my instructions for give need to be better. So I've already refined some areas for improvement for myself and key connections for me to follow up with. And then I could ask more questions too. So if I wanted, let's see, contact info shared in the chat. Daniel Andrews, famous with 50. Let's click on this and see what opens. Oh, it's a video training of his. So it's sharing all of their links, which is pretty cool. Here's Dale's assessment. Mind Mastery Masterclass, phone numbers also, right? To connect with people. So I could easily get some of these people in my CRM if I wanted to do that. So if you have a chat, please give me a downloadable spreadsheet of names and emails for those that provided it. Now it's only going to be a couple from this meeting, but some of the meetings you go to have 30, 40, 50 people, and you can easily download that contact list right here, import that into your CRM. Don't subscribe those people because they haven't subscribed, but you can bring them in, tag them, networking connection, and send them one follow-up email. And in that email, ask them if they want to be added to your newsletter. Now, so you can imagine how much time that saves in a meeting with, 30, 40, 50 people. It'll allow you to do that so much faster. All right.
I asked a quick question about
Absolutely.
of these note takers.
Yeah.
When I start having regular conversations with potential clients, meaning they are with companies, they're presidents, CEOs, HR managers, is it standard when you're talking to those people about things for their business to have note takers? Do I need to ask their permission? Should I go ahead and start it unless they say something? What's kind of the etiquette for that?
I really don't, I don't know. I mean, mine is always there. Now I will say, there's been a couple people recently that I did not put it on for, but I had the Zoom transcript on. Nobody's ever said anything. The CEO I met yesterday who has the software, we met in his software. So my note taker couldn't get in anyway. And the way we were connecting, I didn't need it.
Okay.
It was different.
Okay.
So I would say always tell that it's there. Do you mind if my assistant, my AI assistant, takes notes on our meeting?
I like that. Thanks.
Yeah. My assistant came with me today. Do you mind if she takes notes?
That's great.
Oh, you have an assistant that takes notes at a meeting? How do I get one? And immediately you're of value to someone. Immediately.
Sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Robert.
How do you keep notes after the fact? Because what I've been doing is taking the summaries and transferring it to Evernote. And I don't know if that's worthwhile, necessary step, because I'm also realizing as Fathom has unlimited recording and has searchability, it's like, am I doing an extra step that I don't need to be doing? Anyway, any thoughts on that?
Well, for my paying clients, they all have their own Google Drive folder. Within that folder, there's a subfolder that says meeting notes. So I copy the Fathom notes and my follow-up email, and I put it in there so they have a resource. And it's one extra little step, after my meeting, send the email to the person and then just make a new document in their notes folder. That's just for my one-on-one clients. For anyone else that I talk to, I save the notes and I put it in my CRM. So right into my CRM under Robert Murray is every time we've chatted and what we chatted about. If it's a long meeting, like you and I typically, would go a little bit longer, I summarize it in a short, give me a 2-paragraph summary of my conversation with Robert today. And right in your contact, I open up the notes and there's the dates and what we talked about.
Got it. Okay.
So it just I used to do it in Evernote. I used to have a notebook for each client, and I just wanted to start sharing it with my clients because I saw the benefit of them having that database. Imagine, working with me for a year and you have a summary of every week of our work together, and 2 years go by and you're like, how do I do that again? And you can go back to those notes. And I don't know. I think there's an extreme, you're going to charge more for your coaching than being of value like that into the perpetuity, like into the future. That's important for me.
Got it. Love it.
Sherry, any questions?
So I was just typing in the chat. And I haven't had any coffee this morning, so
Okay.
my voice is a little scratchy. I was just typing in the chat. You were talking. I was like, holy shit. This should be something that I set up as an automation that at the end of every meeting, it's so stupid how I never thought of this before, but at the end of every meeting, take the output and put it into a shared folder and send an email and say, our folder's been updated with the outcome of today's meeting. Here's your blah, blah, blah. I mean, I have Meeting Insight Marge, so I can leverage the content of that custom GPT to give me, oh man, my mind is like brrr already. I'm super
That's why we
excited.
collaborate. Yeah.
Yes.
And when you get it done, Sherry, give me a ring because I might want that.
I
and
want it too.
everyone else that Suzanne knows wants that.
I can sell it. I can sell it for sure.
What is the custom GPT that you use? Is that one that
Meeting
was
Insight Marge?
Meeting Insight Marge?
Yeah.
Is that one of Jonathan's or yours?
No, that's mine.
Ooh.
Here.
Do
I'll
you
share
sell it?
No, I'll give it. Come on. I will give it, but in order for you to hold on, can't talk and work at the same time.
Yeah, me neither.
I need promise me you will give me feedback. So basically, all you have to do, you can click the I need instructions in it, and she'll give you instructions, or you can just upload, your transcript, your summary, your meeting chat from Zoom, whatever, and she'll spit out a bunch of information for you.
Nice.
And I'm always up for improvements. So if anybody who uses it needs something,
I will try it.
Let me know.
Yeah, give it a shot. It's not like Suzanne doesn't have a few calls each day that she can test it on.
Yeah.
I guess I'm the same way. So.
Well, Suzanne's probably already had it and didn't realize she had it because I think I shared it in one of Jonathan's things.
Yeah, I didn't save it. I didn't save it to my sidebar. So I'll bring it into my GPT and see how it does. And then I'll test
Sweet.
it on its own.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Any other questions before we wrap up?
No, thank you. This was great.
You're welcome. I really think